Hello friends out there in YouTube land. This is Michael Wilson Barber's little YouTube channel, and I'm wearing a Florida shirt. I'm doing something a little bit different. I wanted to offer a few thoughts and reflections on the game Family Feud, the TV show. And particularly I'm going to focus on the Richard Dawson era. Here's an image from television, from Buzzer TV station. Richard Dawson era Family Feud. So I've been watching more Family Feud recently, these reruns, and there's just a couple of things I wanted to offer and share. Things that you may not have known or observed about Family Feud in the past I found interesting. The first thing I wanted to share is that in the opening scene of the original Family Feud, you may recall there would be a family on set over here and a family on set over here, and they would be in some sort of pose getting ready to feud. And I never noticed this before, but in the background the music is a violin, like a fiddle actually. So it's playing kind of like Appalachian music, like bluegrass. So it's basically saying that a good old-fashioned Appalachian Family Feud, like the Hatfields and McCoys, is being brought to you, the viewer, on the game Family Feud. So you're feuding like the Hatfields and McCoys. I wonder what they would think of this, that a game show would be named after them, you know, 100 years later. But I never noticed that before. So at the beginning it really does sound like an Appalachian sort of bluegrass. Get ready for the feud. Yahoo! We got feud on here. So the number two thing that's really observable, and I'm sure you all have observed this and remember, Richard Dawson started a tradition of kissing every female contestant on the feud. And watching it now, it's fairly uncomfortable because he kisses women of all ages, all races as well, and that's not uncomfortable, but all ages. So even like if a husband is there with his wife, he kisses the wife in front of Richard, or a sister in front of the brother. It's really weird. Looking back on it now, and apparently it did cause some controversy even at the time. The show started airing in 1977, I believe, or 76. Yeah, 76. So the Richard Dawson era ran from 1976 to 1985 originally. So, by the way, this is a side note. It's because Richard was so popular on the match game. At the super match at the end, for going for the big money, contestants would very often pick Richard to match, and they won a lot with Richard on the match game. So apparently Mark Goodson and or Bill Todman Productions, who produced Match Game, came up with the idea with the Family Feud based on Richard being good at matching answers. Anyway, Richard went off the match game and Family Feud became more popular, and that's another video for another day. But let me get back to this kissing thing. It's really uncomfortable, and it's not really uncomfortable when he kisses like the grandmas, like almost you would expect to kiss grandma. But it's more uncomfortable with, you know, the regularly aged women. And I saw an episode last week where there was like a teenage girl on there. I mean, she had to be 16 or 17, maybe 18. And I just thought, oh no, is he going to kiss her too? And sure enough, he did, man. Ugh. So, this could not be on television today, but to be a woman and go as a contestant on the show back in the Richard Dawson era, you had to know, like, I'm going to have to kiss Richard. That had to be weird. But I did not know this. He said that he started doing that, quote, to help calm their nerves of the contestants. Because he said early when they started earlier shooting, some of the women, some of the contestants, I guess particularly women, were so nervous they couldn't come up with an answer. So he started kissing them, which I guess, I don't know if it calms your nerves, but it throws your concentration off somehow, but maybe it takes you out off the idea that you're in a studio versus, oh, Richard Dawson, this guy just kissed me. So, I don't know, man. It's really odd. Okay, the third thing that I just learned about Family Feud, and you know the climax portion of the feud where it's the final round where you go for the big money? I did not know this. It's called the Fast Money round, or it's just called Fast Money. So I had no idea that the final round was called Fast Money. I don't really remember Richard even saying, like, let's play for the fast money, or it's time to play for the fast money. Or if he did say it, it was like in passing. But anyway, the final round is called the Fast Money round. So, just wanted to share those thoughts and observations. I hope this was not the most boring, like 5 minutes of your life. I do have to say, also, Family Feud had 3 major runs. The second run with Ray Combs is a very good run. I think the ratings started going down, though. They made it really long, like an hour long. And then there were other fill-in periods during the third syndication, I think it was. But Steve Harvey took over in 2010, and he's still hosting it today in 2020. So that's 14 years, surpassing the 9 years of Richard Dawson on the first run. And then Richard did it for a couple of years in the 90s after Ray Combs, I guess, was fired or let go. So yeah, the Steve Harvey era is very funny, and I think he does a very good job at it. Another video for another day. But there are inappropriate things on the Steve Harvey show that I really don't feel like it's safe to watch with my children. So this was anyway meant to be a review of the Richard Dawson era of Family Feud, the first era of Family Feud, and just some thoughts and observations that I had that I never realized before. So I hope you enjoyed this. God bless. Goodbye.